Budget cuts from the Trump administration are now beginning to be felt in America's colleges and universities. Particularly hard hit are the anthropology departments and related biological sciences. This would include research laboratories that get a very large percentage of their funding from federal grants. While exact percentages vary, federal agencies such as the NIH, NSF, and NEH are estimated to contribute over 50% of total research funding in anthropology-related disciplines such as primatology and archaeology at major institutions. Anthropology department heads and professors are not happy with the developments and are starting to raise the alarm. Trump versus Harvard. The Trump administration is now threatening to blacklist Harvard, the nation's oldest university, unless it rolls back its DEI policies. Diversity, equity, and inclusion refers to policies and practices that promote representation and fair treatment of people from different backgrounds, including race, gender, religion, disability, and urban upbringings. The Trump administration is also pushing Harvard to ensure the safety of Jewish students. HuffPo, May 2025. Trump administration demands include ending all programs related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, shutting down academic departments that may be critical of Israel. Fox News reports October 7, 2025, the Trump administration said it has started to block Harvard University's eligibility for federal grant money and its ability to enter into new federal contracts. Yet another salvo from Trump officials as they continue to target the nation's oldest and wealthiest university. Continuing, the debarment process, if successful, could eventually blacklist Harvard from doing business with the government in any capacity, including blocking its ability to accept billions in federal research funds and to sign new contracts with federal agencies. In October, U.S. District Judge Allison D. Burroughs ruled against the Trump administration, saying that they acted illegally in blocking the funds. The Trump administration is appealing the ruling, but for now, NIH funds remain sequestered. Harvard faces cutbacks as grant sequester hits hard. HuffPo, May 2025. National Science Foundation last week quietly ended 196 grants with Harvard, which amounts to a collective loss of nearly $46 million that hasn't yet been paid out to the university for various research projects already underway. Continuing, the grants that NSF just canceled have been funding a range of cutting-edge research, such as the impacts of volcanic eruption on the stratosphere. Another has been tracking methane emissions of cows and neural network theory for uncovering how the brain learns. Among Harvard's anthropology initiatives, one Mesolithic cultures project in particular has emerged as a media magnet. Professor Christina Warrener's investigation into ritual violence and human sacrifice in ancient Meso-American cultures is now on the chopping block. Dr. Warner, a renowned archaeologist and anthropologist, has dedicated years to uncovering the secrets of the ancient civilizations. Her research has provided insights into the lives, rituals, and genetic legacies of a variety of ancient peoples. But her work has been marred by a clear political bias for left-wing narratives. Dr. Warner has faced accusations of promoting a woke agenda through her research and outreach efforts. Times of India, February 2025. Senators on the Senate Commerce Committee accuse Harvard of promoting a far-left ideology linked to diversity, equity, and inclusion, principles that some senators argue foster a neo-Marxist agenda. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, quote, "Over the past few weeks, the Trump administration has been taking a sledgehammer to the radical left's woke nonsense. DEI initiatives have poisoned research efforts, eroded confidence in the scientific community," end quote. Continuing from the Times of India, Christina Warner, an archaeologist whose NSF-funded project focuses on classic Maya social kinship networks, questioned why her research was labeled as promoting, quote, "neo-Marxist class warfare propaganda," end quote. She described the allegations as utterly unclear. Professor Warner maintains academic affiliations that extend beyond U.S. borders, including collaborative ties with institutions in China. Department of Education statistics show that Harvard gets $71 million annually from China, the largest contribution to any American university by far. Dr. Warner is not the only Ivy League academic with collaborative ties to institutions aligned with overseas communist interests. Please note, we will be devoting an entire video to taxpayer-funded Ivy League professors and their financial ties to communist entities in an upcoming video on this channel. Jane Goodall, she spoke up when it counted. Quote, "The least I can do is speak out for those who cannot speak for themselves," end quote. Dr. Jane Goodall. Dr. Jane Goodall, primatologist, activist, icon, has passed. Her work transformed how we see animals, not as test subjects, but as sentient beings, as family. Now Jane's voice echoes. She's joined by 380 other anthropologists, scientists, and prominent academics demanding an end to Harvard's experiments on macaques. Researchers at Harvard and other institutions conduct research on macaques to gauge trauma connected with maternal separation. Funded by the NIH, these experiments separate newborn monkeys from their mothers. Some are denied faces. Others are given toys as surrogates. The specific details of these experiments are too horrible to outline for a YouTube audience. But a 2022 article at Harvard Law, Animal Law, mentions electrodes. Remarking on the controversy at Harvard, quote, "We know that infant primates and their mothers suffer greatly when they are separated," end quote. Jane Goodall. Harvard's Margaret Livingston defends the work. She says the research helps to fight Alzheimer's, tremors, and related illness. She adds that her work is quote-unquote misunderstood. But critics argue the research is outdated and scientifically questionable. Harvard's own Professor Richard Wrangham says, quote, "We know infant primates suffer when separated. We know face deprivation harms brain development," end quote. According to reporting by The Hill, Harvard received funding for macaque research aimed at developing pharmaceuticals for obesity treatment and studying the effects of tuberculosis. Yet institutional habit and a $32 million NIH funding pipeline are hard to reverse. As of this video production date, Harvard has not publicly condemned the research, nor has it committed to ending it. Trump administration cutbacks. The cutbacks and even the threat of cutbacks from the Trump administration appear to be already having an impact. Anthropology departments across American universities are showing signs of outright panic. The Bulwark reports that the NIH has announced a cap on further spending to universities for further research, and that this spending cap has sent shockwaves through college administrators across the nation. Quote, "We were pretty stunned," end quote. The chair of the Biochemistry and Molecular Biology department at a top university told the Bulwark. Continuing from the Bulwark, the school's Office of the Vice President for Research declared that going forward it would pause, quote, "the hiring of new graduate research assistants unless they are already budgeted as a direct cost on the project," end quote. Forbes, June 2025. 6 powerhouse universities have acknowledged that mounting financial challenges will necessitate major cost cutting, including the possibility of staff layoffs and academic program eliminations, coming on the heels of dozens of other institutions implementing immediate or future budget cuts. Government shutdown. Legal challenges led by faculty, unions, and academic associations have pushed back against the funding freezes. In some cases, they've forced partial restorations. However, the ongoing government shutdown is stalling broader efforts to restore the funding. Science Policy News, October 5th, 2025. The government shutdown is slowing some court proceedings over research grant terminations. Justice Department attorneys moved to delay various court deadlines related to restoring grants to Harvard University. Continuing, government attorneys are generally prohibited from working during the shutdown. The judges have so far granted short-term extensions for those deadlines, which DOJ attorneys still may not be able to meet if the shutdown continues beyond this week. Harvard's quiet trade-off. Jane Goodall didn't build her legacy by staying quiet. She spoke for the voiceless, for the primates, and on the ethics that now seem negotiable. Our institutions like Harvard willing to trade those ethics for funding? In a strange twist of fate, it may be Elon Musk and the Trump administration who may end up saving the macaques from further suffering. Whether by default through government shutdowns and undesignated budget cuts, or by deliberate targeted reductions, the Trump administration may have inadvertently fulfilled Jane Goodall's final wish. Ending cruelty from Harvard experiments to baby macaques. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.